JoziMyBeginning is a competition that inspires communities to find solutions to their daily problems. With a 50 million rand prize fund, the initiative aims to develop bright ideas from city residents that will benefit the public at large, enrich their lives, and create jobs. This is JoziMyBeginning. In this episode, we found out more about the Community Innovation Fund. We speak to Robert Sewedi about illegal dumping. We discover key insights into entrepreneurship through one of our expert mentors. And we talk to entrepreneur Tumi Mboya in our big interview. Dumelang, hello, and welcome to Season 1 of JoziMyBeginning. My name is Nolo Mokwena, and for the next half hour, I'll be your host on the show that takes you behind the scenes of the City of Johannesburg's Community Innovation Fund. Talk to us on Facebook, on JoziMyBeginning, or feel free to tweet us at JoziMyBeginning if you would love to interact with us through any one of these social media pages. With up to 50 million rand in prize funds to be won, our show keeps you informed about the competition, the finalists' progress, innovation, and all things entrepreneurship. We recently spoke to Jack Kosef and Bongani Mabuso from the City of Johannesburg to find out more about this initiative that's changing the city.
Jozi at Work is part of the Executive Mayor's vision of how the city can completely adapt its methods of service delivery and its way of doing business to partner with communities to change the way we do business and, in the process, improve service delivery. The Community Innovation Fund is basically designed so that Jozi at Work can respond to ideas that come directly from the communities themselves. So instead of the city coming up with a specific set of work packages, the idea is that we encourage local innovation around problems that exist in various neighborhoods and communities and allow the citizens to pitch for the opportunity to be funded as a Jozi at Work project. So a co-op or SMME or range of them does the work, but is supervised by a supervising agent that provides the equipment, the liquidity, all the kind of basic ready-to-go elements of the package. And then the cooperative and the SMME in the process of implementing is developed as a business, actually learns and becomes a fully fledged micro-enterprise over the course of its incubation. So it's got a dual purpose. It's not only about delivering the work, it's also about developing the people that are doing the delivery.
JoziMyBeginning, which is part and parcel of the Community Innovation Fund, is one vehicle that the city is using to go out there and get the public involved in giving solutions in how we can give service out there. So the city, in its program, and particularly with the Community Innovation Fund, we want to make sure that whatever idea that comes out of it, a person is being held by the hand and taken through a process of development, because entrepreneurs that are forming part of this, they are being trained.
I think the overall end point of this should be that communities start to recognize that they can own the Jozi at Work process more than they may have realized they could before. Where historically and on a continuous basis, the larger volume of Jozi at Work packages by necessity are going to be things that we know that we have to do and we know that we are ready to pay for now. This is turning communities into our R&D division, which is a very, very different way of approaching the process. It gives communities a real sense that they can actually start determining part of how the city's resourcing is applied to their universe. And that for us is very, very valuable from a process, from a political point of view, from a city management point of view, because it means those local innovations are owned by the very people whose lives they're designed to impact. It's a profoundly bottom of the pyramid way of doing service innovation.
Currently, we have 17 finalists in the JoziMyBeginning competition, so be sure to stay tuned to keep track with their progress as they aim to change their communities with their ideas and innovations. Our social media pages are a great source of help for entrepreneurs. We often share news, articles, and useful links to help you succeed. The man behind all our social media is Brandon, and here he is with our weekly hints and tips.
Hi, as an entrepreneur, naturally you're creative. But let's be honest, it's tough to maintain that creativity. Let's talk about reigniting your creative spark with these tips from Entrepreneur Magazine. Firstly, be accountable. If you're feeling drained and uninspired, keep in mind that this will pass, but only if you actively make it happen. So take accountability for how you're feeling. Secondly, don't forget to dream. Think back to when you started out in your field, when there was magic in everything. Compare what you did back then to what you do now. Perhaps you need to reintroduce some of those rituals. Sometimes it's good to set goals that are unconventional and maybe impossible. Next, consider taking your work on a field trip. By taking a work-related trip, you can get a better view of the way your business operates. Consider visiting other members in the value chain. You may gain inspiration from them. Lastly, take some time to work in a new environment. Coffee shops, airports, libraries, they're all great. In fact, the less conventional, the better. So, to summarize, take accountability, don't forget to dream, take a trip, and change the scenery. That's all for now. Remember to follow us on Facebook at JoziMyBeginning and on Twitter at JoziMyBeginning. Until next time, keep focused.
Remember to check out our website at www.JoziMyBeginning.co.za for all your information about the competition, its finalists, and the expert mentors guiding these entrepreneurs. In South Africa, illegal dumping and littering is a growing trend, and one that destroys the environment and impacts upon our daily lives. With many of the city's regions facing this problem, we spoke to Region B Director, Robert Sewedi, about the challenges illegal dumping creates and the possible solutions to these associated problems.
Community Innovation Fund. It's solely for the purpose of looking at the entire city and looking into innovative ideas which can assist to solve service delivery breakdowns by communities. For an example, illegal dumping that is taking place around the city, especially in the region, we have people who are doing illegal dumping. So if we can have a member of the community who can sit down and give an idea and package it to say, this is how I'm putting across that this can be done away with or can be resolved and sustained. A person is going to be invited to pitch it and is going to be supported to register a company and be able to implement his innovative idea. So if a community member comes up and say, I'll be eyes and ears, taking down the details, working with our law enforcement agency, JMPD, inform them to come and prosecute this guy or correct this guy that he must not dump, and be able to come up with a situation of saying, what can we do with the dumping? We have received application at this stage, and I wish all those who are interested the best to be able to assist us with service delivery breakdown.
Entrepreneurship and innovation has the potential to provide solutions to some of our greatest challenges. And we hope because of that potential, illegal dumping could really be a thing of the past. Mentorship, entrepreneurial news, and the big interview. All this and more coming your way on JoziMyBeginning. This is JoziMyBeginning, the show that takes you behind the scenes of the 50 Million Rand Community Innovation Fund. Remember, If you want to access our hints and tips, general competition information, or just want to share your thoughts and comments with us, do so via our social media pages. That is JoziMyBeginning on Facebook and @JMB on Twitter. We would love to hear from you. This year's JoziMyBeginning competition, along with all City of Joburg competitions, has a strong focus on mentorship. All finalists are assigned mentors who are industry experts and leaders in entrepreneurship to assist them in turning their ideas into reality. In this episode, we hear from futurist and innovation expert Ita as she teaches us how playing with Lego and having fun could be the key to your entrepreneurial success.
The Lego Serious Play methodology is based on the fact that there is an incredible link between your hands and your brain, and it literally is like giving your brain a hand. It's like giving your brain a hand to think with. So when we build with our hands and when we construct our thinking, we are able to delve a lot deeper into our intuition, into our bodies, into associations and other ideas that we wouldn't normally be able to do when we only work on paper. Paper is quite flat, it's quite one-dimensional, and we tend to think more linearly when we are working on paper. So what I found from a research point of view is that when we use the Lego to think with, is that we tend to tap into 80% of our brain power rather than just 20% as when we do normal sort of processes. Okay, so is that exciting? Okay, so when we work with the Lego, it is you plan a little bit, you build a little bit, you plan a little bit, you build a little bit. You cannot plan your model from the word go. It is not possible. We also work with metaphors and we tap into the imagination. So when we work with a metaphor, it means that if we pick up a block and we use a block, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is a physical representation of that idea. It's rather a metaphorical representation of some of the thinking. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to help them to take their ideas to a next level. So in the session before lunch, they built their own ideas and everybody had an opportunity to give some input and suggestions on how to improve on that idea, and they were learning from each other, but they were literally tapping into that collective intelligence. For this session after lunch, what we now want to do is take that collaboration to a completely different level. The first thing is they have to go and look at what is the best parts of each ideas and pull them together so that they can potentially create something that's fundamentally different and new to what they've thought about before. So there's two things here. The first one is about the collaboration and the co-creation, but the second thing is then for them themselves to go back and think about the idea that they've created. How can I take that to a level that I haven't perhaps considered before?
For this mentorship clip and more, be sure to check out our website at www.JoziMyBeginning.co.za. We first saw her on our TV screens, and now she's a thriving entrepreneur and the co-founder of the company Future CEOs. In this big interview, I talked to Mboya, and this is what she had to say about her entrepreneurial journey. In today's big interview, we are joined by Mboya, actress and entrepreneur and the co-founder of Future CEOs. Welcome, Hlubi.
Finally, I'm on the couch, finally. Hi, Nola, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
We're very happy that you're here. And so I'll get straight into it.
Okay.
The first time we saw you in South Africa was on the TV screens, and now you're leading the entrepreneurial discussion in the country. Where did your journey begin?
I'm not sure about the description of leading. You know what? As my parents did warn me when I wanted to get into the craft of arts, that it's a fickle industry, that it's unstable, that could you really make a full-time career out of it? And at 38 years old, I had to make a firm decision whereby I wanted to leave a legacy. I wanted young Black African girls to know that they can do whatever they wanted to do, they can fulfill their dreams, but it's about paying the bills. It's about having a will. It's about being able to have a full family and having those medical aids and benefits and going on international holidays if you want to. But also you want to add value to society. And as artists, we do that. But I think the space of entrepreneurship is so dynamic in South Africa, and especially on the continent. And it allows you to be creative and it allows you to add value to the community. And what I'm really enjoying about it is that you have to be an asset. You have to stand out. You have to be different from everybody else. So I think being an artist and an entrepreneur goes hand in hand, but at the same time, they're very, very different aspects of society.
Well, I love that you painted the whole picture of, in the end, people's bills have to be paid.
Yeah.
And so my question to you be, knowing in South Africa how so many people have to work full-time jobs and start their businesses or their passion projects, as we'd often say, on the side.
Yeah.
How did that happen for you? How, knowing that you were on TV and you had that role, which meant rehearsals, going to studio, it just took time?
I often describe myself as a freelance everything, because we often have guests on future CEOs who say that should they stay in their main jobs and go into the entrepreneurial space, or should they just jump into it? And we always find the answers from the great CEOs that we've had on our show, more than 200 of them. They always give the advice that don't leave your full-time job all at once, you know? I mean, take calculated risks, be assertive, show an initiative, but always have something to fall back on. And I think that's so important. I think that it's great to have a great idea. It's great to implement and execute that great idea, but I think you've got to be smart about it. I think it's all about timing, and it's also about testing the market. You know what I mean? And it's about having a great support structure to do that. So I think you need a lot of mentorship. You need a lot of guidance, and you need a vision to do the product that you want to do and sell the service that you want to do. And you also want to make a profit out of it as well. So I think in the full bigger scheme of things, you want to make a difference. You want to make a change. You want to be unique, but at the same time, you do want to make a profit.
That's so great. You alluded to two important things,
What?
which has been mentioned throughout many successful people's lives, is mentorship and guidance.
Yeah.
And so what about the person sitting at home who's sitting and going, I don't know a business owner around me, I don't know an entrepreneur, I don't know a CEO, who's gonna guide me? What advice would you have for them in terms of moving forward and trying to find the right mentorship to really move forward in life?
That's such a great question. You know, there's no such thing as one mentor, I believe. And a lot of CEOs have said that. They have different mentors for different things. And just as a motivational speaker, and I want to be life coach, I always say to young girls or people in my space or people battling and in the struggle of, should I do this? You know, is this my calling? Is this my purpose? Is that a mentor is somebody who inspires you, who takes you under their wing. You've got a personal relationship with that somebody. And what I love about mentorship is that that person doesn't feel that you owe them anything. It's about the journey that they're going through, and you actually want to have a couple of different mentors in your life for different situations. It's not necessarily an entrepreneurial thing. Sometimes it can be a financial decision. Sometimes it can be a personal thing. Sometimes it can be a family matter which affects the business. So you want to have different mentors for different aspects of your life. But the beautiful thing of a mentor is that they believe that it's their free will and their purpose to guide you and help you. And you know what? It's about through their own experience that they're guiding you. So I think it's such a beautiful relationship, and it's one that it's a two-way street. It's about the mentor wanting to give you that help freely and with love and with purpose, but also you going to them because you know that they've walked the path with integrity and with honesty.
These are such great insights. That's Hlubin Boya, co-founder of Future CEOs, and this is The Big Interview. Jozi is known as the business capital of South Africa, so it is expected that it will be buzzing with entrepreneurs and innovative startups. Here at JoziMyBeginning, we like to keep you up to date with what is happening in the city. Next up, with the city's latest news, is our very own Puno Silisho.
In headlines today, City of Joburg launches Phase 2 of the CIF Fund, CIF launches mini malls in townships, the Green City startup announces top 8 finalists. Hello, I'm Puno with this week's JoziMyBeginning news. The City of Johannesburg recently launched the second phase of the JoziMyBeginning initiative, which is a competition that inspires communities to find innovative solutions to their own problems around them. Present at the launch event, Mayor of Johannesburg, Park Stau, emphasized the importance of empowering local entrepreneurs and the role they play in the development of the city. Staying with the community, Innovation Fund 6 townships throughout Jozi will soon be the beneficiaries of the Mini Mall initiative. These malls will be made from 21 containers each and will house computer centers, lecture halls, retail spaces, and will inevitably provide safe market space for both members and entrepreneurs in these communities. And in our last story, the Green City Startup Competition has reached its last phase. The competition gives entrepreneurs and innovators in infrastructure and the green economy an opportunity to further develop their ideas. 8 finalists have been selected and have already received 250,000 Rand to use for their enterprises. Finalists can still win the grand prize of R1 million to invest in their solutions that will make Johannesburg a greener city for tomorrow. That's the news for this week. Remember to keep in touch with us through our social media pages or email us your news on info@jozimybeginning.co.za. From the news team, goodbye.
Next week, you don't want to miss our show as our journey with our competition finalists continues. We'll learn more about the CIF as we speak to the city's regional directors, and we'll gain insights from our mentors and hear from leading entrepreneurs in our big interview. Don't forget to connect with us on social media. We would love to hear your thoughts about entrepreneurship and the latest news on what's happening in your very own community. That's all from the JoziMyBeginning team and me, Nolo Mokwena. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.